When we started using vitalized elements, they were happier, they were mellow, they wore their ears forward more, there were no ornery horses kicking in the barn. It should just more or less be a staple in every horse's diet.
Learn more about our full line of natural equine supplements at vitalizeeq.com.
Product must have credibility with us or we will not be comfortable to use it, even if it works like crazy. But the Perfect products had a fantastic reputation and the way they've been developed and formulated. And then I met Jeff and I started to realize why it was that way and why everybody had such confidence.
I'm Hope Hobday-Glenn.
Hey, I'm John.
I'm Tracy Brooks. Adrian Lyle.
John French.
And I trust.
And I trust.
And I trust.
This is Amy.
This is Ian.
And we trust Perfect products.
So coming up on 15 minutes away this morning from the start of the Lugano Diamonds Meter 45 International Grand Prix, a $100,000 class with us here in Portland, Oregon. Lugano Diamonds join us this 2022 season as title sponsors of the Split Rock Jumping Tour.
As we plant, nurture and grow personal and long-term relationships with each client.
Lugano are avid supporters of our equestrian community. Lugano's worldwide connection to procure the rarest,
design,
most unique and largest stones, enabling the company to offer an
all
unmatched
of your
inventory of
dreams.
elegant, wearable works of art, including a unique line of equestrian-inspired pieces. Be sure to visit a Lugano salon to experience the spectacular jewellery up close, or visit luganodiamonds.com to view the whole stunning collection. Our welcome and thanks to Lugano Diamonds for joining us as title sponsors of the Split Rock Jumping Tour for 2022. Well, today wraps up week one of our first ever visit to the Pacific Northwest and our first visit here to Portland, Oregon. Of course, a second national week coming up next week, and we stay west of the Mississippi for our next show as well. Coming up in early September, we'll be down in California, in the Central Valley in Paso Robles, so we hope you'll be joining us there in a few short weeks' time as well. The season then continues with shows in Kentucky. In early October, we've got 2 weeks in the Kentucky Horse Park. Those of you who maybe have been with us over the last 2 summers for the Hunter Jumper Classic in June will know exactly what to expect down there. It is a real different vibe to the Kentucky Horse Park experience, with our main jumper arena being the Claiborne when we take Split Rock to the horse park. Then in November time, it is going to be time to go to South Carolina and Aiken and the Bruce's Field Aiken Horse Park. And again, we'll be having hunters and jumpers with us there in the Carolinas. At Christmas time, it is to the Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth, and we go to Fort Worth, the Will Rogers Coliseum, for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup qualifier for 2022, seeing who can follow in the footsteps of Connor Swell, victor last year with Count Me In, a horse that went on to be top 10 in the Aachen Grand Prix this summer. And then we wrap up our 2022 season just the far side of the new year at Terra Nova in Sarasota, Florida, where we have all of our league finals as well at our Split Rock Jumping Tour venue there in Florida. Well, we've been hearing the adverts from our various different sponsors, Portland sponsors and whole season-long sponsors as well. Our thanks in particular to our Portland sponsors who've come along, like our local Maserati dealer, like Maya Celia Northwest, who are our fist pump sponsors over the last 2 weeks. It's been a great first week here in Portland, and let's look back at some of the memories we've already made in the Pacific Northwest. It's been a great week here, and we are so delighted to have been welcomed and invited here to Portland, Oregon by the team here at West Lynn. And wonderful to bring the Split Rock Jumping Tour experience here to another new venue and another new clientele as well. I hope you've been enjoying your week, be it here in the Grand Prix, be it in the Hunter Ring or in Jumper 2. And, of course, each of those rings have been competing all week for the Maya Celia's Northwest Fist Pump Challenge as well. One each week here at Portland as well. Don't forget that. And, of course, not wrapped up until the day finishes today in our last arena to complete. And we'll be presenting that Fist Pump Challenge. Well, looking forward, we're going to have just over 20 competitors come forward in this jump-off format, Lugano Diamonds FEI Grand Prix. We're going to have Jennifer Waxman, who was our FEI winner here 2 days ago of the big welcome class with Lavalina to Clump. Jennifer actually won to watch because she had 2 in the top 5 in that jump-off format class. She was also there with Skato von der Molenbrug. We have Jeff Fields. Jeff has also been in great form over the course of the FEI tours with Sherlini Ale. He was the winner on day 1 against the clock and stood runner-up in that welcome competition. We have an international rider in the shape of Rachel Fields. Rachel, who's been going well in the FEI divisions and been having a cracking week with her national horses as well. And, of course, we should mention Carrie Rufer. Carrie, who was second in the speed with Stern de Filetti. Carrie also here with Mr. Europe in our FEI Grand Prix. 2 of her 3 FEI horses with us here at the Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix level for Split Rock Portland. And Carrie, the only rider here with us to be a career Split Rock Jumping Tour Grand Prix winner, having been a winner and plenty of other top successes in the Sonoma leg of the series. Sonoma becomes Paso Robles this year as we continue our association with the California market of jumpers. Well, we're just about 5 minutes away from first horse. Let's have a look in a little bit of detail at the track laid out here by Olaf Pedersen of Germany. Going to start out down by the in-gate over in Oxer, and he's set that up quite tricky because you've got to go past the in-gate, keep the horse engaged, going forward to that number 1. A left-hand turn then brings you to the number 2, which is going to be a full height, metre 45 vertical there, made out of the split rock poles. Then it is going to be a rollback to number 3, which is going to be our Jarvis Insurance fence. Number 4 starts out the related distance line. It's going to be the Vitalize up to the Daffodils double. From there, then they've got another 270-degree rollback. This is to the ESI vertical, metre 45 with the water tray just sitting behind the plane of the poles. A slightly bending line then to another double on course, 7AB, and related distance down to another vertical at the Western motifs. Then the ever favourite Grand Prix wall on the Split Rock Jumping Tour at 9, a bending line to 10, the Lugano Diamonds triple bar, and then up to 11, a skinny maximum height vertical here made out of the black poles. 12AB becomes our third double on course, no triple combination, just 3 doubles, and then a push on the related distance down to the Archers, that natural coloured poles at number 13. All to be completed within an 88 seconds time allowed. Our $100,000 Lugano Diamonds metre 45 FEI Grand Prix coming up here in a few minutes' time, and then that is the first of 2 classes with us here today in the Grand Prix ring. Our metre 25 Mini Prix comes up as our final class today. Jumper 2 already well underway. They're on their 3rd class of the day, and they'll be wrapping up with the 60 centimetre clear round later on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to set the scene for our forthcoming $100,000 Lugano Diamonds FEI International Grand Prix, the first International Grand Prix to be held here in the state of Oregon, could we ask you please to rise as we set the scene with the playing of the national anthem? So we are ready now for our $100,000 FEI Grand Prix in the colours of Lugano Diamonds here for Split Rock 2022. Here is our first to go international rider representing New Zealand in our field here in Portland, Oregon, Rachel Fields. Rachel with Katie Caring's King Boy. Rachel makes a return to the international stage for the first time since 2018, came here with a lot of clients, a lot of horses, and had a very successful national tour over the course of week one here in Portland. Best of luck, our first to go, King Boy, Rachel Fields. Four for jumping with the ESI rail down here in front of the jury box. 5 for time with 92.17 on the clock. So that's currently showing 9 in all. First of two rides now for Jennifer Waxman. This is the syndicate-owned Scato van de Molenbrug. Jennifer and Scato ran well up in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Thunderbird Show Park this spring and were top 5 with us in our welcome competition here, the jump ball format 2 days ago. Scato and Jennifer Waxman, first rider for the USA. Clear and 84.32 on the clock against that 88 seconds time allowed. Jennifer Waxman and Skata van der Molenbroek are clear and number one here in our $100,000 Lugano Grand Prix. The next to go, a rider who made their international debut with us on the Split Rock Jumping Tour in California last September. International top 5 finishes at Thermal this spring. We welcome here to Portland, Oregon, riding Rogue 3's icebreaker, Dakota Moa. Dakota Moa and Icebreaker will have 4 down, unfortunately, on their way around this first round track of the Lugano Grand Prix. 16 jumping faults. The next to go, Australian Olympian Matt Williams. Matt, who jumped World Cup with us at Fort Worth over the course of the winter. Matt here with Jovaro. Matt was a Nations Cup rider for Australia this spring in Canada. Also was top 10 with us at the Lexington, Kentucky Invitational. Well, it's going to be 3 down, unfortunately, for Matt and Jovaro. We'll see Matt back with his Nations Cup horse, Dandy, in just a short while in the initial round of this Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix. But 12 there for Jovaro. Carrie-Anne Boyce-Lockhart's going to be our next to go. Carrie-Anne and her own CMS Garradai Shaw were top 5 finishers in the speed leg of the FEI Tour here this weekend in Portland, Oregon. Carrie-Anne, who's been a World Cup rider for the US at Las Vegas and up in Canada, had some very good runs during the two-star tour of Major League Week at Thunderbird in May of this year. Tough initial round course here, as you'd expect. 100,000 in the prize fund. Carrie-Anne Boyce-Lockhart and CMS Garradai Shaw are another one to bring home 12 faults. Carrie-Anne's the best of our two 12 faulters, so third on the rankings so far. Rachel Fields, 9, sits second. Jennifer Waxman is our leader, our only clear. Will we get another clear and give ourselves a jump off? Sahana Gannison is going to take up the challenge now. Sahana owns and rides My Ferrari. Sahana is the owner of our winning horse on day one, and with this, her horse, her own ride, My Ferrari, was third in that speed competition. No one bringing home 12. Carry on, boys. Lockhart, CMS, Garradai, Shawber with 88.70 on the clock. It is also going to be one for time. So a total of 13. Sahana with 13 faults there. So Junior Nations Cup rider Sahana Ghanasan and My Ferrari in the clubhouse on 13 after the initial round here in our Grand Prix. We go on to Carrie Rufer. First to 2 for Carrie in our Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix, career Grand Prix winner at Sacramento and Grand Prix winner with us at Sonoma, California. Carrie with Morningstar Sport Horses, Mr. Europe. Just a single rail, 4 faults in 80.88 seconds, so that's good enough for second place at the moment. It could hold on for a good placing overall in our Grand Prix. First to finish on just the 4 faults, but Jennifer Waxman and Skatte van der Molenbrug have the clear, so they hold the whip hand so far. Kendall Bourgeois, Kendall and Cameron Brown's Flinton M are our next to go. Top 5 in the welcome here 2 days ago for the rider who's had several career World Cup qualifier top 10s. This is actually Kendall's first time on the international stage since riding with us on the Split Rock Tour in California last September. .84.44 on the clock and 2 down. 8 jumping faults. That goes into third best at the moment in our Grand Prix ranking. Make sure everything's set, and then we'll welcome forward Joey Gatlin. Joey with Oakland Ventures LLC's Uccello Deville. Uccello Deville, familiar to us in Europe, a 5-star and global champions horse just recently for Simon Deleste, and now in the hands of 3-time US World Cup finalist Joey Gatlin. 8-4 send for Joey Gatlin and Uccello DeVille. Uccello and Joey, 87.65 on the clock, so they're fourth on our ranking as things currently stand. Brynna Clausen is going to be our next to go. Brandon with Larkspur Equestrians LLC's Care Paravel. Care Paravel from the Irish Sport Horse Stud Book. Can they be clear round number 2? .88.64 on the clock means it's 1 for time for Brynna Clausen and Care Paravel. 8 jumping, 1 for time, total of 9. So 2 on 9. Brynna is the fastest of the pair. Rachel Fields and King Boy in 6th. Brynna in 5th. Hannah Lolly is going to be our next to go. Hannah, who jumped with us at Colorado last summer, had 2 in the Grand Prix top 10 there. Former individual junior medalist at the North American Youth Championships. With Tres Palomas' Bisou, Hannah Lolly next to go. Shame, very, very close in terms of jumping. Just that one rail down on the way home, also a shade over the time, so it is going to be 5 for Hannah Lolly and Bizu 8810 on the clock. So they go third. Carrie Rufer is second on 4 faults, still just that single clear round. Scato van der Molenbrug and Jennifer Waxman, and of course we're going to see Jennifer back here shortly with a second ride as well. Turn goes for Katie Caring. Katie owns and rides Larimer. Second ride, or a second horse in Katie Caring's ownership. We've already seen King Boy with Rachel Fields. Katie and Larimer from the Holsteiner stud book for the rider who was in the Prix Juniors at the North American Youth Championships last summer in Michigan. Time for us as well, 89.22 on the clock is going to be 2 for time. And the 2 rails as well for Katie Caring is going to add up to a total of 10. Going to see another entry now for Tres Palomas. This is Kerry Potter this time around, the combination that were on the podium in our FEI Welcome here, the jump off format 2 days ago. This is Kerry and Ariel La Serene. Ariel and Kerry have been on the podium in World Cup action at Thermal in California, and we're also on the podium in our Sonoma Grand Prix in recent years with this horse. Finally, we have a jump off on our hands. It's going to be Jennifer Waxman versus Kerry Potter, 2 of our top finishers in the Welcome competition here 2 days ago, using that experience to find the key to unlock clear rounds in the initial round of our Grand Prix here this morning. So second go for Australian Olympian Matt Williams. Matt this time with Dandy. As we say, we saw Dandy take a top 10 finish in the Kentucky Invitational this spring with us at the Horse Park during the course of the Land Rover Kentucky 3-day event. Dandy, Matt Williams for Australia. Could they be clear round number 3? Single rail for the Five-Star Nations Cup horse Dandy, and Matt Williams for Australia. It's 4 faults in 83.56. Slowest of our 2 4-faulters, so goes 4th best on our ranking. Well, now will Jennifer Waxman be able to get 2 through to the jump-off? Well, very good chance with this one. This is Lost Lake Farms, Lavalino to Klomp. And Jennifer and Lavalino were the winners of the FEI Welcome here 2 days ago. Lavalino, pretty new ride for Jennifer Waxman, showed at the Wellington International this spring, the Winter Equestrian Festival, under Irish Olympian Shane Sweetnam. Front rail off the last, unfortunately it's 4 faults, but what a day's jumping Jennifer Waxman is having with Lavalino to Klomp. One of just 2 in the jump off with Scato so far, so Jennifer pretty much guaranteed a good result today. Exactly how good will it be? We'll find out in a few minutes' time. Well, Nicholas Choi, together with his first ever international horse, Grand Désert, takes up the challenge now. Grand Désert, Nicholas Choi for the United States of America. This combination we saw jump some good international Grand Prix performances at the Desert International Horse Park in Thermal, California this year. Just the two down, unfortunately. Good effort, though, in this way this class has broken down. So Nicholas Choi and Grand Désert on 8. And that time of 86.96 puts them in 8th place. 4 more to see in the initial round of jumping of our Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix. Tina Yates is going to be next up, Tina, with Lynn Parker's Ivaludine. Ivaludine by the VDL Dallas. Tina, who's jumped with us on the Split Rock Jumping Tour in Ohio and in California, jumped in Europe and to World Cup level, and was a class winner at the Del Mar venue back in 2019. Single rail down for Tina and Ivaludine, 86.76 on the clock. So that will go into 6th place. 4 Falters holding 3rd, Carrie Roofer, 4th, Matt Williams, 5th, Jennifer Waxman, and 6th, Tina Yates. Well, next to go with the Irish Sport Horse bred by Linda Courtney Cadam, so the LCC prefix, LCC Yankee, Molly Taller. Molly owns and ride. Molly, who's ridden north of the border in Canada and ridden World Cups here in North America as well, but lining out in her first international since 2019. Molly Taller, LCC Yankee. Time as well, 88.54 on the clock, means it's 12 for jumping, 1 for time for Molly and LCC Yankee. Well, one of our winners here this week on the FEI Tour, Jeff Fields. He took the opening speed class and was second in the welcome with this horse, Sherlina Ale, the Dutch Warmblood. Jeff Fields riding for Sir Hannah Ganassan. Jeff winning that first ever international competition to be held in the state of Oregon, to our knowledge, on Thursday. It was also Jeff's own first international win. Is he about to pick up his first Grand Prix victory? He needs to jump clear here and make his way into the jump-off. It's clear round number 3. In fact, Jeff ended up moving down the order because he had pulled a shoe in warm-up. He will be second to go in the jump-off, Jennifer Waxman, then Jeff, then Kerry Potter, and one more who might yet join them, Carrie Rufer. So Carrie comes forward with her second horse and last to go in this initial round, Stern de Filetti and Carrie were runners-up in the speed leg for Morningstar Sport Horses this week. They were well placed in the speed with us at Sonoma last year. Carrie Rufer looking to follow up on her Sonoma victory a few years ago. Stern de Filetti was the welcome class winner in Sonoma last autumn and now is clear round number 4 here today in the Lugano Diamonds $100,000 Split Rock Grand Prix of Portland, Oregon. 4 qualified to come back to us. Jennifer Waxman, Scarto van der Molenbroek, Jeff Fields, Shirlene Ale, Kerry Potter, Ariel Lesseren and Carrie Rufer, Stern de Filetti. They will come back in the order in which they qualified. Obviously, Jeff will go back to his original drawn order, and they will take our top 4 places based on their performance in the forthcoming jump-off. Behind them, we're going to have Carrie in 5th with Mr. Europe, her Grand Prix runner-up from Thermal this spring. Matt Williams and his 5-star Grand Prix horse, Dandy, will be 6th. Jennifer Waxman and Lavalino Ted Klomp. Winners of the Welcome, Jen and Lavalino, will be 7th, and Tina Yates and Valadine will be our 8th place finishers. Hannah Lolly will take 9th, and Kendall Bourgeois and Flinton will round out the top 10 for international jumping here this weekend in Oregon. I'll just update you on that ongoing competition in the Myocelia Northwest Fist Pump Challenge. Jan Humphrey is currently leading our Fist Pump Challenge here with us in week 1 of Portland, Oregon. So we're going to be seeing whether our FEI Grand Prix winner can go onto that leaderboard. Jan Humphrey in our ring with Conquistador, went very well in the 6-year-old and also in our meter 35 speed with Amigo. But currently doing very, very well in the Myocelia Fist Pump Challenge as well. Current leader, but of course not decided until the end of the day here at the end of week 1. And Myocelia Northwest going to stay with us for week 2 as well. So let's have a quick look at the course for the jump off to come. Our 4 athletes just finalising their warm-up, thinking about their lines, their tracks, their strides. From a course that starts out over what was fence 8. So down there in the bottom corner of the ring, the western motifs there, the vertical, before a 180-degree roll back to the wall therefore coming quite early on the jump-off course. They push up the ring to the triple bar, and then they'll be looking for the leave out. If you've tried the leave out to the skinny vertical at number 9, and it didn't go for them, so what risk will these jump-off contenders take up to those very, very light rails at the top of the ring at fence 9? They follow the fence 11. They follow the course around then to 12 AB, the double as was, and on to the last. So again, they need to see whether they can possibly leave out a stride to that last fence and get their noses out in front. Then we go on to new ground. We go past the in-gate. We swing past it on the right rein and then roll around to the vitalized vertical. So we're going to jump that in the opposite direction to before going back towards the podium. And then around to what was fence 3. It's the Jarvis Insurance fence by the Exhibitors Lounge and jumping here towards the jury box end of the ring. The course 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 AB, 13, new fence 15, new fence 16. Well, it looks like our first is walking up. 68 seconds is the time allowed for the jump off. We hope that won't come into play. It's all about being the fastest with the fewest faults. They all bring forward 0. And they're guaranteed top 4, but 3 spaces only on the podium. That's the challenge today. And of course, there can be just one winner of the $100,000 Lugano Diamonds FEI Grand Prix. Meter 45, the specification of the course. 4 in the jump off. And Carrie Roofer will go last. Kerry Potter, Jeff Fields, and first in will be Jennifer Waxman here in just a few moments. They've all had good weeks here, all top 5 placings. But who is going to be our Lugano Diamonds winner? So Jennifer Waxman will take the lead leg with the Scata Group LLC's Scato van der Molenbrug. Top 5 in our welcome class. They are well placed to do well, and indeed we've had a winner from first to go in a jump off in this ring here this week. Can it be repeat history? Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix jump off underway here in Portland, Oregon. Double clear, 49.01. Now, jumping what was the last fence at 29 seconds, and they did get the 5 strides up from the Lugano triple bar to the split rock skinny rail vertical. 49.01 is what they have to beat. Jennifer Waxman and Skata von der Molenbrug laying down the gauntlet here in our Grand Prix jump-off. On we go to Jeff Fields. Jeff with Sahana Ganesan, Sherlina Ale. Runners up in the welcome, winners of the speed. Are they about to get another podium? Are they about to get another win? Jeff's got it. 44.98, nearly 5 seconds in front. Now, he was just the 1 second up at what was the last fence. He really made the difference over those new lines on course from the Vitalize back to the Jarvis Insurance. So, double clear, 44.98 is the one to beat. Jeff Fields, Sherlini Ale having a fantastic FEI tour with us here in Portland, Oregon. They're guaranteed top 3 once again. On we go to Kerry Potter. Kerry with Tres Palomas, Ariel La Serene. A very successful combination together, Kerry and Ariel La Serene, including this week when they were third in the jump-off format FEI Welcome. It's incredibly close. Kerry Potter and Ariel Le Serene nip in front by 0.07 of a second. And we get a fist pump as well. Not sure how much meat is left on the bone here in terms of a line over those last 2 fences. Kerry was just in front over our time check fence, the final fence on that first round with the archers. So, 44.91. We've seen double clears from all 3 of our initial riders in the jump-off. It's time now to take our Split Rock Jumping Tour Grand Prix winner from California a couple of years ago. They were winners of the FEI Welcome at the Sonoma venue last September. 4th to qualify, last to go in the jump-off. Runners-up in the speed here this week. Morningstar Sport Horses, Stern de Filetti and Carrie Rufer. Oh, great challenge from Carrie. She was a second and a half up at our time check fence, but just that Vitalize came up a bit quick out of the corner. They found themselves between two spots, and that rail was 9 times out of 10 it was going to come down, and it did come down this time. 4 faults for Carrie and Stern de Folletti will give them 4th place. So our podium is going to be all double clears, ladies and gentlemen. Jennifer Waxman in 3rd, Jeff Field, Sherlina in 2nd, and the winner of the first ever Portland Grand Prix on the Lugano Diamond Split Rock Jumping Tour, riding Ariel Le Seren, Kerry Potter. Well, our team are going to get set for awards. We hope you'll stay with us and really celebrate success for these top athletes. They've given us a fantastic competition this morning here. Just over 20 competitors went to post, 4 back for the jump off, and an excellent riding from all 4 of them in the jump off. They all had a real cut at it, a real challenge. Not done here in the Grand Prix ring either. We're going to be setting up for the Meter 25 Mini Prix. That comes up with us this morning at 11:30, so a little bit under an hour. Back to jumping action here, but awards coming up, and the team from Winslow Show Photography joining us now, ready to take pictures of our Grand Prix ceremony as well. Don't forget, if you've been exhibiting in any of the rings here this weekend, Winslow Show Photography have your photos. They'll be up very quickly online or in their booth after you have competed. Check them all out, but not just show photography, not just ceremony photography. Winslow Show Photography have so many services. They're not your ordinary show photo service. Do go and check them out. Talk to them about the behind the scenes packages they offer at shows, and also portrait photography and so much more. Well, some of those sponsors out there, of course, Lugano Diamonds are a title sponsor of the Tour for 2022. Lugano are avid supporters of the equestrian community, and their worldwide connections procure the rarest, most unique and largest stones, enabling the company to offer an unmatched inventory of elegant, wearable works of art. Check out the whole stunning collection at luganodiamonds.com. While joining us in the ring as we build up 2 ceremonies is going to be founder and president of the Lugano Diamond Split Rock Jumping Tour, Derek Braun, accompanied by Kathy Waldorf. Kathy is our host here in West Lynne at this amazing facility. These former polo fields have turned over to be great footing for world-class international show jumping this week. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, our top athletes from the Lugano Diamonds Meter 45 $100,000 FEI Grand Prix. Put your hands together for them all. So our presentation party will start with our 8th place competitor. Tina Yates, Cindy Valadine take it on just 4 faults in that first round, 86 seconds. In 7th place was Jennifer Waxman's second ride, Lavalino to Tlomph, 4 faults in 85. Matt Williams for Australia and Dandy were our 6th place finishers, 4 faults for them in 83. Carrie Rufer, Carrie and Mr. Europe, a very good horse for Carrie. They take 5th place on 80.88 seconds with the 4 faults. And then it is our top 4. Taking the 4th place is Carrie with Stern de Folletti. that unlucky 4 faults at the Vitalize in the jump-off, giving them the 4th place finish. It's going to be a podium result for Jennifer Waxman and the syndicate-owned Skato van der Molenbrug with double clear. 2nd place, he was a winner on day 1. It's his 3rd podium finish in the FEI Tour with this horse, Sherlina Ale. Jeff Fields, and taking victory in our Portland, Oregon Split Rock Grand Prix on the Lugano Diamonds Tour with Ariel Le Seren, Kerry Potter. So our top 3 will invite them over to the podium, ladies and gentlemen. The podium, a big part of our Split Rock ceremonies right the way through here in the Grand Prix ring. But this is the big one, the $100,000 FEI Grand Prix podium. In 3rd place, let's get her up on the step, ladies and gentlemen. She's had a great week with us, Jennifer Waxman. In 2nd place, again, 3 classes, 3 podiums, Jeff Fields, Sherlina Ale. But winning when it matters most, ladies and gentlemen, your champion of the $100,000 International Grand Prix, Ariel Le Seren and Kerry Potter. Well, we get Derek alongside as well with Kathy Waldorf from our hosts here in Portland, Oregon. And ladies and gentlemen, with everyone there on the podium, could we ask you please to rise, because we are going to formalize this victory for Kerry Potter as we play the winner's national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America. Congratulations to our top 3, Kerry, Jeff and Jennifer Waxman. Again, it's been a pretty good week for them, and it's champagne spray time to conclude the FEI Tour here, the first FEI Tour in Portland, Oregon, and we're delighted that it has been part of the Lugano Diamonds Split Rock Jumping Tour. And looking forward to a fantastic week of national jumping, culminating in a national Prix next week as our feature class, as we look forward to a 2nd week here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, Grand Prix, FEI, they are wrapped up, but the Grand Prix ring isn't wrapped up, because we have one more class to come here this morning, which is going to be our Meter 25 Mini Prix. But to wrap up the FEI Tour, the International Jumper Tour here for the very first time in Portland, Oregon, we're going to get our 3 riders back in place, and we will have our final International Lap of Honor of Portland, Oregon for 2022. And also an opportunity for any of these riders to get on to the leaderboard, maybe right to the top of the leaderboard of the Maya Celia Northwest Fist Pump Challenge. Well, it looks like everyone's on board. Kerry, I know you're looking forward to this. It's not every day you get to lead around a Grand Prix victory gallop. Today is your day. Well done, Kerry Potter, Ariel Le Seren. Jeff Fields, Sherlina, what a week for this pair. Jen Waxman and Skato van der Molenbrug. Jennifer with 2 inside our lineup today. Carrie Rufer with 2 in the top 8 as well. 4th and 5th. 4th with Stern, 5th with Mr. Europe. Matt Williams, our Australian Olympian and dandy there. And Jennifer Waxman, Lavalino de Klomp, they were 7th. And Tina Yates and Ivaladine round out our top 8. As I say, It's a time to celebrate. Kerry Potter, Ariel Lesseren, one more time, all on their own, winning the blue ribbon in the FEI Grand Prix here at the Lugano Diamond Split Rock Jumping Tour. Okay, congratulations, Kerry. Fantastic class here this morning. Of course, just considering the welfare of our international horses that we've had it earlier than we might otherwise have done. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along and supporting and enjoying this class here early this morning. And we are going to get that mini Prix underway and then get wrapped up here in the Grand Prix ring before it gets really stingy hot this afternoon. Please do take care of yourselves if you are out there in the sun, even this early morning. But there is that weather warning for high heat for the late afternoon and on through into tomorrow. So do please be careful out there in the sun.